Hello, my dear students of third prep. Today we are going to have a new lesson, which is some general revision on your geometry syllabus. Please try to solve with me the problems and try to solve more and more exams so as not to forget what you have studied. Let us start by the first example. We are going to find the first question, which is choose the correct answer from between brackets. Between the 2 points 3 and 0 and 0 and negative 4 equals what? Is it 4, 5, 6 or 7? Do you remember what is the distance between the 2 points? Its rule says what? Yes, it says distance equal, that's correct, square root x2 minus x1 to the power of 2 plus y2 minus y1 all to the power of 2. And then by substituting for the 2 points 3 and 0 and negative 4, then you are going to notice that it is square root 0 minus 3 all to the power of 2 plus negative 4 minus 0 all to the power of 2. Then, what about 0 minus 3 all to the power of 2? It is 9. And negative 4 minus 0 all to the power of 2 is 16. So it is root 9 plus 16 to obtain a result as root 25, which is equal to 5 units. Then, what about the distance between the 2 points 3 and 0 and negative 4? It is going to be, that's correct, the second choice, which is 5 units. Another example. If x plus y equals 4, kx plus 2y equals 0 are two perpendicular straight lines, then k equals what? Is it 2, negative 2, 1, or negative 1? At the very beginning, you know that when you have two perpendicular straight lines, then the product of their slopes equal negative 1. So we have to find the slope of each of them and then multiply them by each other to obtain a result equals negative 1. Then what about the slope of the first line? It is m1, which is negative coefficient of x over coefficient of y. So it is negative 1 over 1. Then the slope of the first line m1 will be negative 1. What about the slope of the other line? It is m2, and it is the negative coefficient of x over coefficient of y. So m2 equals negative k over 2. Their product is negative 1. Then m1 times m2 equals negative 1. By substituting for the values of m1 and m2 by their values, so negative 1 multiplied by negative k over 2 equals negative 1. By dividing both sides of the equation by negative 1, you are going to obtain negative k over 2 equals 1. Then, by making cross multiplication, you are going to notice that k equals negative 2. Then the value of k will be negative 2, which is the second choice. Another example, the equation whose slope is 1 and passes through the origin is what? Is it x equals 1, or y equals 1, or y equals x, or y equals negative x? All of you know that the equation of the straight line is denoted by y equals mx plus c. By substituting, yes, y equals 1x plus c as the slope equals 1. And all of you noticed that this equation passes through the origin. So the values of x and y are 0 and 0. By substituting for this equation by 0 and 0, so 0 equals 1 times 0 plus c. In this case, we are going to obtain a result for C as 0. So y equals mx plus c, it means y equals x plus 0, which is y equals x. And this is going to be the third choice. Another example, if sine x equals half, then sine 2x equals what? Where x is an acute angle, is it half, root 3 over 2, 1 over root 2, or 2? First of all of you know that sine x equals half. Can you find the value of x? Of course, yes. By using your calculators to press shift sine half. Then x will be of measure 30 degrees. Then what about sine 2x? It is sine 2 times 30. So it is sine 60 degrees. What about sine 60 degrees? Yes, from the calculator or by drawing the triangle of 30, 60, 90. So it is going to be square root 3 over 2, which is the second choice. Another example, the midpoint of AB, where A is 1 and 2 and B is 3 and 4, is what? Is it 4 and 6, negative 2, negative 2, negative 1, negative 1, or 2 and 3? First of all, what about the rule of finding the midpoint of a line segment? Yes, midpoint equals x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2 in an ordered pair. So by substituting, it is 1 plus 3 over 2 and 2 plus 4 over 2. So you are going to obtain a result as 2 and 3, which is the first one. Another example, ABC is right angle triangle at B. Then sine A plus cosine C equals what? Is it 2 sine A or 2 sine C or 2 sine B or 2 cosine A? First of all, you have to draw the triangle to notice how to find the sine of the angles and their cosine. So you have triangle ABC, right angle at B. Then sine A plus cosine C equals what? That's correct. It is BC over AC plus BC over AC. So it is twice BC over AC, which is equal to 2 sine A, which is the first choice. Another example, the perpendicular distance between the two straight lines, x minus 2 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0 is what? Is it 1, 5, 2, or 3? First of all, x minus 2 equals 0. In this case, we can say that x equals 2. So the first distance is 2. Then x plus 3 equals 0. So x equals negative 3. And in this case, we can say that the distance equals 3. What about the whole distance? The whole distance will be 2 plus 3 equals 5. So the distance between these two straight lines is 5 units, which is the second choice. Another example, the equation of the straight line passing through the point 3 and negative 5 and is parallel to the y-axis is what? Is it x equals 3 or y equals negative 5 or x equals negative 5 or y equals 3? At the very beginning, equation of straight line parallel to the y-axis, its equation must be x equals. So we are going to dismiss the second and the fourth choices. Then, as it is parallel to the y-axis, so x equals. x equals what? This straight line passes through the point 3 and negative 5, so the value of x is 3. Then we can say here that the equation of the straight line is x equal 3. Another example, if 10x plus 10 equals 1, where x is acute angle, then measure angle x equals what? Is it 45 degrees or 55 degrees or 35 degrees or 30 degrees? First of all, the given is 10x plus 10 equals 1. By using your calculators and pressing the buttons, shift 10, 1, you obtain a result as 45. What is 45? It is the value of x plus 10. So x plus 10 equals 45 degrees. Then to find the value of y, so x equals 45 degrees minus 10 degrees equals 35 degrees, which is the third choice. Let us have another example. Find the value of cosine 60 sine 30 minus sine 60 tan 60 plus tan 45 degrees. Here you are going to find that cosine 60 equals 1 over 2. Sine 30 equals 1 over 2. Sine 60 equals root 3 over 2. And tan 60 equals root 3. Then what about tan 45? It is equal to 1. By substituting for cosine 60 sine 30 minus sine 60 tan 60 plus tan 45, it is half multiplied by half minus root 3 over 2 multiplied by root 3 plus 1. Half times half gives quarter minus root 3 over 2 times root 3 gives 3 over 2 plus 1 to obtain a result as negative 1 over 4. Let us have another example. Find the equation of the straight line passing through the points 1 and 3 and negative 1 and negative 3. Then prove that it is passing through the origin. First of all, to find the equation of the straight line, you must find two things. What are they? The value of the slope and the value of c. So to find the value of the slope, m1 is the slope of the straight line. By the rule, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it is equal to negative 3 minus 3 over negative 1 minus 1 to obtain a result as negative 6 over negative 2, which is equal to 3. Then the slope of this straight line is 3. You have known that y equals mx plus c. By substituting for the value of the slope by 3, so it is y equals 3x plus c. To find the value of c, try to substitute with any of the 2 points in which the straight line passes through. I am going to choose 1 and 3 as it is easier. So by substituting for 1 and 3 to obtain the value of c, it is 3 equals 3 times 1 plus c. Then you are going to obtain that c is equal to 0. And in this case, y is going to be equal 3x. So the equation of the straight line y equals 3x. To prove that this straight line passes through the origin, you are going to find the slope m2, which is the slope of the line passing through 1 and 3 and 0 and 0, which is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is equal to 0 minus 3 over 0 minus 1, to give a result as negative 3 over negative 1, which is equal to 3. So here you have the same slope. Then m1 equals m2. 2 equal slopes and 1 and 3 is a common point. This means that the points are collinear And in this case, we can say that the straight line passes through the origin point. Another example, if ABCD is a parallelogram, its diagonals intersect at E. If A equals 3 and negative 1, B equals 6 and 2, C equals 1 and 6, find the coordinates of the points E and D, and then find the length of DE. First of all, what about point E? It is the intersection point of the two diagonals, and it means that the point E is a midpoint of AC. So to find the midpoint E equals x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2, which is equal to 3 plus 1 over 2 and negative 1 plus 6 over 2. So the midpoint, which is E, the coordinates of the point E will be 2 and 5 over 2. Then, as E is the midpoint of BD, so we are going to let D equals x and y. E is going to be the midpoint of BD. So we can say that 2 and 5 over 2 equals x plus 6 over 2 and y plus 2 over 2. By equalizing the coordinates of the x, so we can say that 2 equals x plus 6 over 2. And by making cross multiplication, you are going to notice that x equals negative 2. Then we are going to equalize the y coordinates. So it is 5 over 2 equals y plus 2 over 2. By reducing, you are going to find that y plus 2 equals 5. And in this case, we can say that y equals 3. Then, when d equals negative 2 and 3, now we can find the length of DE. How can we find the length of DE? By using the rule square root x2 minus x1 all to the power of 2 plus y2 minus y1 all to the power of 2. By substituting, so it is square root 2 minus negative 2 all to the power of 2 plus 5 over 2 minus 3 all to the power of 2. Then what about 2 minus negative 2 all to the power of 2? It is 16. And what about 5 over 2 minus 3 all to the power of 2? It is 1 over 4. So you are going to obtain square root 16 plus 1 over 4. When you find it by using your calculators, you are going to find that the value will be 4.03. So it is equal approximately to 4 units. Another example, find equation of the straight line passing through the point 3 and 4 and perpendicular to the straight line 5x minus 2y plus 7 equals 0. To find equation of straight line, you must have the slope of the straight line and the value of c. So first of all, we must find the slope of the straight line. The straight line given is perpendicular to the required straight line. Can we find the slope of this given line? Of course, yes. So the slope is going to be negative a over b, which is negative 5 over negative 2, which is equal to 5 over 2. This is the slope of the given straight line. I want the straight line perpendicular to it. So what about the slope of the straight line perpendicular to it? It is negative 2 over 5, as their product equals negative 1. So the slope of the required line is negative 2 over 5. Now you know that y equals mx plus c. So y equals negative 2 over 5x plus c. By substituting by the point in which the straight line passing through, which is 3 and 4, so 4 equals negative 2 over 5 times 3 plus c. And in this case, we can find that c equals 4 plus 6 over 5 to obtain a result as 26 over 5. And in this case, we can say that y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 26 over 5. Let us have another example. Prove that A, 5 and negative 5, B, negative 1 and 7, C, 15 and 15 are vertices of right angle triangle at B, and calculate its area. You have 3 vertices, and I want you to prove that they are representing vertices of right angle triangle at the point B. First of all, to prove that the triangle is right angle triangle at B, so we can find the slope of AB and BC. If multiplied by each other equals negative 1, so they are perpendicular. And in this case, we can say that this triangle is right angle triangle. So, first of all, slope of AB, it is M1, which is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It is equal to, by substituting, 7 minus negative 5 over negative 1 minus 5 to obtain a result as 12 over negative 6, which is equal to negative 2. What about slope of BC? It is called M2, or symbolized as M2. It is y2 minus y1 over 2x2 minus x1. By substituting, it is 15 minus 7 over 15 minus negative 7, which gives it 8 over 16, which is equal to half. When you multiply M1 by M2, it is negative 2 times half to obtain a result as negative 1. In this case, we can say that AB is perpendicular on BC, and therefore ABC is right angle triangle at B. To find the area of such a triangle, we must find the base and the height of the triangle, as the area of triangle is half times its base times its height, and the base and the height must be perpendicular. So we are going to find the length of AB, which is square root x2 minus x1 to the power of 2 plus y2 minus y1 all to the power of 2. By substituting, it is 5 minus negative 1 all to the power of 2 plus negative 5 minus 7 all to the power of 2 to obtain a result as square root 36 plus 144, which is equal to root 180, which gives 6 root 5 units. And this is the length of AB. Then we are going to try to find the length of BC. BC equals square root x2 minus x1 all to the power of 2 plus y2 minus y1 all to the power of 2. By substituting, it is square root negative 1 minus 15 all to the power of 2 plus 7 minus 15 all to the power of 2 to obtain a result as square root 256 plus 64 equals root 320, which gives 8 root 5 units. Now you have the length of the base and the length of the height. So the area of triangle equals half times base times height. By substituting, it is half times 6 root 5 times 8 root 5 to obtain a result as 120 squared units. Let us have another example. If ABCD is a trapezium, AD is parallel to BC, and measure angle B equals 90 degrees, AB is of length 3 centimeters, BC 6 centimeters, and AD is 2 centimeters. Find the length of DC and the value of cosine angle BCD. First of all, we must draw this trapezium ABCD, in which angle B is 90 and AB is 2, AD is 2, AB is 3, and BC is 6. We have to draw the trapezium ABCD as that in front of you. Then, at the beginning, we have drawn DE perpendicular on BC. So in this case, we are going to notice that BE equals AD equals 2 centimeters. So we can find now the length of EC. It is equal to 6 minus 2 equals 4 centimeters. Then you are going to notice that DE equals AB, which is equal to 3 centimeters. In triangle DEC, we can use Pythagoras theorem to find the length of DC. So we can say that DC to the power of 2 equals DE to the power of 2 plus EC to the power of 2. By substituting, it is equal to 3 to the power of 2 plus 4 to the power of 2 equals 25. By taking square root for both sides of the equation, so we can find that the value of DC equals 5. Then DC equals 5 centimeters. Then to find cosine angle DCB, yes, what about cosine? It is adjacent over hypotenuse. So it is EC over DC. What about the length of EC? It is 4. What about the length of DC? It is 5. So cosine angle DCB equals 4 over 5. Another example. If the straight line L1 passes through the points 3 and 1 and 2 and K, and the straight line L2 makes an angle of measure 45 degrees with the positive direction of the x-axis, find the value of K. When you have two parallel straight lines, you are going to notice that their slopes are equal. So to find the value of K, we have to find the slope of L1 first, which is M1, which is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then you can find the value of the slope. By substituting, it is k minus 1 over 2 minus 3, which is equal to k minus 1 over negative 1. So we can also find the slope of L2, which is denoted by M2. And it is going to be found by tan theta. So it is tan 45 to give a result as 1. As L1 is parallel to L2, then M1 is equal to M2. Then k minus 1 over negative 1 equals 1. By making cross multiplication, so k minus 1 equals negative 1, and we are going to obtain a result for the value of k as 0. So k equals 0. We have reached the end of our lesson today. I wish that I could benefit you. Thank you for good listening, and bye-bye.